I was going to talk about one subject, and then I jumped in Facebook and I was scrolling real quick, looking at some of the different things and posts out there. It's interesting. Something triggered something for me. What got triggered for me is what people will pay versus what they think information is worth versus what an individual thinks he's worth, right? So let's break this down a little bit. First, there's self worth, right? Like, what is your worth? Your experience, your life, your career, the things you learned to do, the things you learned not to do, right? And there's a value in that knowledge because that knowledge can save one person from pain and also gain another person a lot of pleasure, right? Because everybody has a certain amount of value and lessons that they learned. And if someone else is struggling in an area, they want that lesson. So, first, there's like, what is the value for you, the value for your career, the value for your business, the value for yourself? Then the second thing is, what are people willing to actually invest to solve a problem? I think it's Joe Polish is the first one that I heard say it. He said, if you have enough money to solve a problem, you don't have a problem. Now, most people don't think they could solve a problem because they don't have the money. But Jay Abraham taught me that even if you don't have money, you can get the solution, which is called bartering. It all comes down to your ability to think different. But let's go back to the problem you want to solve. I watch so many people throughout my life say, you know what? I wish I grew a service company like you. I wish I grew a big coaching company like you. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. And I said, okay, that's great. But you got to understand the one thing I did that a lot of people don't want to do. I invested in the solution so I did not have to experience the pain because I went through 10 or 12 years as a struggling, trying to figure it out, the rat race of jobs, the rat race of not knowing how to hire and do all this stuff, right? Like my son used to say years ago, like the struggle it was real. The struggle was real, right? And if you look at, and I'm only sharing my experience to help you, I'm not bragging to you or anything, but if you look at one time, I had seven coaches at one time. And people go, that's crazy. Why would you need seven coaches? Wow. I mean, look at how many areas you need coaching in, right? If you want to understand wealth, you need coaching. You want to understand relationships, you need coaching. If you want physical fitness, you need coaches. If you want to spiritual side of things, enhance your connection to something, you need a coach. If you want to learn martial arts, you need a coach. You want to learn tattooing, you need a coach. So what I learned was the fastest way to the point of getting to your desire that you want is find the right person that can teach you the right things at the right time in the right way to help you move your life forward faster. Now, a lot of people don't want to invest in themselves. They'll invest in their fancy ass little car. They'll spend 15,000 to go on a Disney cruise or something. They'll invest in a camper or whatever, but they'll never invest in what moves the needle in one of what we call the life wheel, right? In one of the areas of the life wheel. And I always tell them like, and then the second thing is they invest in cheap ass stuff, right? Cheap ass stuff, cheap ass people with cheap ass solutions. And I never wanted to do that. Every program that I've ever been in, I never went for the cheap ass program. I always figured out how to be in the highest level. And I'm going to tell you why I did that, because I knew that for me to grow, I couldn't be in the same realm as everyone else. I had to be in a room full of people that made me go, holy crap, look at what these people are doing. Look at how they're doing. Look how fast, look how much they're improving their life. So if I'm going to go and I want to learn football, which I don't watch football or anything, but if I wanted to learn football, I wouldn't go find a college coach to teach me football. Like, I would want to be around the best in the world who have figured it out decade after decade, because I know that not only do they have results, they have experience. Now, there's a trap in this, right? There's a trap in this. And the trap is a lot of people go to train with people that have a really good story and no experience. I learned this so many times being behind the curtain with a lot of the gurus, thinking like, oh my goodness, I'm near this guru, and then going, holy crap, this guy is saying on stage one thing and he doesn't live that way. He doesn't have that stuff. And he's on it, what I always said, like he's on the balls of his ass, right? Like he is struggling. But to the world, these people today, they act like they got it all put together. They got the fancy sneakers, the fancy shoes, the fancy cars, the fancy outfits, and they go, look at me. But behind curtains, you go, nah, I don't know. I'm hearing what you're saying out there. It sounds pretty good, but the result you're getting is not really good. So, but it all comes back to like, first, you got to know your value. And you got to also know what you feel is missing that's moving you forward, right? If someone wants to become a doctor someday, like you're going to need some form of education. You're going to need to put it in practice. You're going to need someone to guide you while you're in practice. If you look at, it's interesting. My wife and I are watching the Game of Thrones again. We've done the whole series. We're back on that series again. And when you look at these guys that are like kings and lords and all this, they always have what guiding them? Very wise people who have decades of experience. So, like, if you want to move the needle, here's what I would say: stop saving for your next thing that you probably don't need and invest in yourself so you could raise the value of you, the value of your skill sets, the value of your information, the value of your knowledge. It always has a 10 times or greater return when you invest in yourself based on your ability to implement. That's why here at the Food Dog Company, we always talk about three things. The first is about connection, right? You got to be able to connect to yourself, connect to others, connect to information. You got to be able to put the pieces together. The second part is implementation. You have to know how to put things in to get a result, right? You have to know how to take a process, make it run, course correct it, and allow it to bring you something better to your life. And the last part is transformation. Without a new level of transformation in your mind, transformation in your body, transformation in your belief system, transformation in your communication, transformation in your relationships, without transformation, you have not grown at all. Now, if you put this all together and you have a constant state of connecting, implementing, and transforming, and you have somebody that's helping you do that faster, quicker, they're making connections for you. They're helping you put things in place for your life. They're helping recognize, are you growing? Are you not growing? Are you stuck? Then all of a sudden, everything starts to move so much quicker. It goes back to this saying, it's like, everybody wants to have what you have. They're not willing to do what you're doing, which, by the way, today was a great day because I got to put down laser focus. I never look at a Saturday as a Sunday as a separate part of your life. I just look at it as one more day of the week to accomplish one more thing that you need to move you forward to one more place you want to go. That's it. So today I was able to laser focus on it. But when I'm stuck, I don't stay stuck. And I don't try to find the answer in a book. I find it from a human who I know has a track record. Why do you think I worked with Jay Abraham for 3.5 years? Not because I wanted to just invest money in Jay. I wanted everything he knew about scaling, growing, improving, fixing, enhancing businesses, which after 3.5 years, which was longer than that, actually, I figured out a whole lot of stuff on how to grow companies, people, processes, systems, and life quicker than I believe most on the planet today. Not because I'm special, because I invested in the right people to tell me the right shit at the right time. So here's what I wanted to give you something to consider. Next time it's your birthday, your anniversary, or something, you should have one little, and Mike Agugliaro, he has got a bunch of great books. He always talks about this profit first and having different bank accounts for different things. Well, here's the number one bank account you should have that you should, even if you put $1 in it, whatever it takes, put it in it. It's called the self-growth bank account, right? It's the personal growth. It's the mind growth bank account. That's where you're taking 200, 500, 800, and you're building yourself a bank so you could invest in yourself, so you can get around the smartest people in the world. You can learn what they did because you have one timeline of life and you don't know how long that's going to be. What I didn't want to do was figure out everything when I was 90 or 100 years old. I wanted to figure it out really, really quick. And I did. I figured it out, some of this stuff in my 20s, some of it in the 30s, some of it in the 40s. And I'm still figuring out stuff today. I still have coaches and groups that I pay significant money to be in because why? Because I'm always looking for connection, greater things to implement, and higher level transformation for myself. So knowing your value as a human and knowing where you are in that baseline and investing in yourself. Now, if any of you are stuck and you don't know what to invest in, hit me up in a private message. Hey, maybe I'm a fit for you. And for a lot, I'm probably not a fit because I run at a fast pace. I'm looking for quick results for people in their personal life. And I'm looking for you to shift and change. So if we're improving your relationships, or you're thinking about wealth and abundance, or you're thinking about health, or connecting on a deeper level and understand energy, well, you got to be ready to shake and bake with me, right? Because we're going to get results and quick. But if I'm not a fit for you, I'm not going to be offended. I'll refer you and find other people that might be a better fit for you. Stop trying to navigate your way through the forest all alone. You find out that you get lost a lot. You deal with a lot of stress, anxiety, and pressure, and you don't get the returns you want. And all you do is complain that it's unfair that you don't have it. The fact is, invest in the number one thing, no matter what anybody says. The number one investment, at least on this planet, is in yourself.